Let me show you something. Old farmhouse, traditional build, flint, chalk, slate. That kind of building has been standing for several hundred years. We're cutting a new roof on it, and the roof is 700 centimetres out of parallel. Not 7, not 70, 700 centimetres. When we open it up, there's things underneath nobody could have predicted. Things that aren't on any drawing because they couldn't possibly be. They were put there by someone working with completely different materials, different tools, solving problems we'd never even thought about. And in that moment, you adapt. You read the building. You make calls based on 30 years of being in positions just like that. You blend new work into old work until it looks like it was always there. No algorithm can do that. No machine does that. Not now, and probably not in my lifetime. I'm Jody. I spent 30 years working in construction, co-founded G&M in Norfolk before I learned anything about AI. And I'd like to talk to you about something today. Because almost everything you've heard about AI and trades businesses is wrong. There are two things that I constantly hear. The first one is this: AI is coming for tradespeople. Builders, plumbers, electricians. The skilled trades are going to be replaced. The second thing I hear is the complete opposite. And AI isn't relevant to small trades businesses yet. Maybe one day, but not now. I think both of these are totally wrong. And if you're running a trades business and making decisions based on either one, this really matters. Let's start with a replacement idea. I understand where it comes from. You see the headlines about AI writing code, designing things, diagnosing diseases, doing things that would work impossible 2 years ago. And people assume it will do everything. And here's what those people don't understand. What I described on that farmhouse roof, that isn't a process. It isn't a checklist. It isn't something you train on a data set. It's judgment. It's knowing what chalk does when it's wet. It's knowing what happens when the chalk has been sitting in a wall for 200 years and someone's dropped a concrete lintel on over the top of it in 1987. It's knowing how a building behaves. You read it the way someone else reads a room. You can't download that. You can't prompt it. That kind of knowledge lives in your hands, in your eyes, in your gut, after thousands of hours in places like that. And here's something I've noticed over 30 years. Whenever automation increases, the things that can't be automated become more valuable, not less. New tools arrive, people panic, and then the floor rises. The skilled people become harder to replace. The ones who adapt get further ahead, faster. AI is not coming for your craft. What you do with your hands, your judgment, your experience, that's yours. That's safe. But here's the shift. You're up on that roof, doing what only you can do, solving a problem nobody else can solve. And your phone rings. You miss it. That's one example, but it's not just the phone. It's the quote you sent last Tuesday that you meant to follow up but haven't. It's a customer waiting 3 days for an update, starting to wonder if you've forgotten about them. It's the review you meant to ask for after the job that went really well. It's the 5 inquiries that came in over the weekend sitting in an inbox that you haven't opened yet. None of that is laziness. None of that is disorganisation. Every business owner I've spoken to has a version of this. Every single one. The people who are exceptional on site struggle with the admin part. The people who are brilliant with customers struggle with follow-up. The people who run the tightest jobs lose sleep over sales and marketing. We all have our own strengths. We all have things we find harder. That's not a flaw. That's just what it looks like to run a business, especially when you're doing most of it yourself. The problem definitely isn't you. The problem is this. The business keeps generating work that needs doing, or you're doing the work you actually built the business to do. That gap between what you should happen and what actually gets done, that's where good businesses quietly bleed. And that's exactly where AI earns its place. Not some futuristic technology, just a practical fix to a very human problem. Let me make this concrete, because AI for business can sound like a lot of noise until you see what it actually does. A missed call gets a text reply in 60 seconds, automatically. The customer knows you've seen the inquiry. They know someone will be in touch. And they don't go looking elsewhere. A quote goes out 3 days later. If nobody has responded, a follow-up message is sent automatically. You don't have to remember. You didn't set a reminder. It just happened. The job finishes. That evening the customer gets a message thanking them and asking for a review. Not next week, that evening. Someone fills out your contact form at 10 o'clock on a Friday night. By 10:01, they've had a response. Not from you. You're watching the telly or chilling with your family. But they've been acknowledged. They've been given the next step, and they haven't gone and called someone else. Your business is handling things, or you're handling the job. That's not science fiction. Every single one of those things exists right now, works right now, and doesn't require a tech background to use. And when you stack all them things together, the leads that don't go cold, the quotes that actually get followed up, the reviews that get asked for, the inquiries that get handled outside working hours, you're suddenly running a more professional business than most of your competitors, without working more hours. Now I know that some of you are thinking, I don't trust it, I don't understand it, this probably isn't for me. And honestly, that's a completely reasonable reaction. It's not ignorance, it's not behind the times, it's a rational response to something that moves fast and comes with a lot of people trying to sell you something. I'll be honest, over 9 months ago, that's exactly where I was. I'm a builder. I've never written a line of code in my life. When I first started looking at this stuff, I didn't understand most of it. I didn't know who to trust. I didn't know where to start. My instinct was exactly the same as yours might be right now. Stay away from that if you don't understand it. And if that's where you are, that's totally fine. Being skeptical and careful is actually the right place to start. And here's the thing that changed how I think about it all. You don't need to understand how a laser level works, the physics, the optics. I couldn't explain that to you. But what I do know is this, it's more accurate than the spirit level, and it saves me an hour every time I set something out. That's the whole decision. Same thing here. You don't need to understand everything that's happening under the hood. You need to know what it does and whether that's useful. Does it stop leads falling through the cracks? Does it free you up to focus on work only you can do? Does it make your business run easier? If the answer is yes, that's the decision. Here's the thing I want to tell you, and this is personal. 9 months ago, I could not have built what I've built in this business, not even close. Working alongside AI, I've put systems in place, lead generation systems, automated follow-ups, client onboarding, business intelligence tools, things that would have cost tens of thousands of pounds a few years ago. Not because I suddenly become a tech person. I'm still a builder. I still think like a builder. I approach this the same way I approach a new tool on site, carefully. Learn what it does, apply it where it makes sense. And because of that, I've never been more optimistic about the opportunity in front of small businesses right now. The gap between what you can build today and what was possible before is the biggest window I've ever seen in my career. And the trade businesses that figure this out first, not all of it, just the bits that matter to them, are going to be miles ahead of everyone that's still watching from the sidelines. So 2 things to leave you with. Nobody is coming for your craft, what you've built over years, your skill, your judgment, your experience. AI can't touch that. But the things around your work, the calls, the follow-ups, the admins that eats into your evenings, there's a fix for some of that, and you don't have to figure it out alone. That's actually the whole reason I do this, because I know what it feels like to be brilliant at the work and exhausted by everything around it. And I know what it feels like when someone shows you it doesn't have to be that hard. Every week you're not using it, someone else is. Craft first, tech second, people always. If you want to know where the gaps are in your business, if any of this resonates with you, if you're running a trades business and thinking, yeah, that sounds a bit like us, then there's a link in the description for a free discovery call. It's just a 30-minute chat. No pressure, no sales pitch. We'll just look at how inquiries come in, where things might be slipping through the cracks, and whether any of this could actually help you. If it does, brilliant. If it doesn't, that's completely fine too. But if we can help, we'd genuinely love to work with you. There's a link in the description and I'll drop it in the comments as well. Please subscribe if you've found any of this useful. It helps more than you can imagine. 1 video like this every week. No hype, no jargon, just what actually is working. See you in the next one. Bye.